guys, I'm back and we're in a new space. I bought a car! Yay! So I can do whatever I want in this car. I can put my feet up, I can eat food, I can drive around. The only thing is that I have to pay for gas and I have to pay for my car insurance. Me when I am an adult and I have to actually do adult stuff. But yeah, this is my car. I have a sunroof and I look like the moon emoji right now. But that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. It's giving dewy. I'm trying to wear less makeup. In the summertime, I try to wear no makeup as much as possible so that I could get a good base tan down. I think I've been doing pretty good. I actually also just am getting very lazy and have started caring about other aspects of my appearance, like my hair. I got a bunch of hair products a few days ago because I want to wear my curly hair more now that it's all grown out and I won't look like Dora. But I really just need to take care of it. I kind of killed it with like heat because I never put heat protectant, but I always like blow dry my hair after I dry it, so that's why it's kind of like I have no curl pattern and I have no curl definition. So yeah, but that's okay. We're trying to get better. I got like creams, I got some hair oils and all of that jazz. So now I'm going to try and wear my hair natural. Also, if I flash you guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm wearing my PJs. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about social anxiety because it's something that I have struggled with for a long time, and I didn't even realize that it was social anxiety because I consider myself to be an extroverted person. I've talked about this a bajillion times already. I get my energy from being around people, from talking to people. I love being the center of attention, which, like, it's not really a good thing, but it is just who I am. I like being in social circles. I love talking to people. And so I was like, how can I have social anxiety if I like talking to people and if I want to go out of my way and meet people? It's because you need to give yourself an extra 20 minutes before going into any sort of building of any other sort of social gathering so that you can compose yourself and not have a panic attack. That's how you have social anxiety. Yeah, I fear that's not normal. I fear that like you having to prepare yourself for a week before having a presentation just for like the feeling of being in the presentation. I fear that's not normal, you know. Some people can actually like talk to people and not worry about how they're being perceived. What guys, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that. So yeah, I started going to therapy this summer and I was talking to my therapist about some of my issues with anxiety because I am an overthinking gal. I can't stop thinking. I actually have to go to sleep watching TV shows because if I don't, then my brain just won't turn off and I will keep myself awake by thinking about things. It's not even just like thinking about things like that matter. No, I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, oh, I wonder like what so-and-so is doing right now. I wonder, I really want to eat this. I'm kind of craving this right now. And it's 3 a.m. and I can't fall asleep. And then I tell myself to fall asleep, which is continuing the cycle of me talking to myself in my head. So yeah, does that sound crazy? Yes. But I am a person that has an internal monologue. I visualize things very vividly in my head. I daydream a lot. I don't think it's maladaptive because I can like actually get work done, but at any given moment if I'm bored, I can just like think of something and and entertain myself for like hours at a time. So yeah, that's the whole overthinking process with me. So with that also comes thinking about myself a lot and thinking about other people and other people's perceptions of me a lot. which is not really a good thing. I think, well, no shit, but like, I don't think that people should think about themselves so much. Guys, hot take, don't cancel me. But I think that a lot of like anxiety and social anxiety comes from people perceiving themselves too much. Like on social media, even with like mirrors everywhere, like people see themselves a lot. People think about themselves a lot. People are always coming up with new opinions about themselves. Guilty, but but all of this stuff, like, it adds to the anxiety of self-perception of being perceived by others. Like, there's a reason why blissfully ignorant is a saying. Because if you're not thinking about yourself, you're not thinking about how other people think about you, and you're not getting anxious over it. So yeah, I really need to work on just not thinking about myself and not thinking about everything at all times in general. So yeah, I was really confused about having social anxiety, because like for my previous knowledge of it was that like social anxiety, to have it, you have to be introverted, you have to like not like being in social situations, you have to not want to go to social situations, to and like obviously that's true, but then again, everyone is different, not everyone is gonna fit a certain label. And even like I searched it up, like not like the definition exact, but like a general definition on like PubMD. It states that like social anxiety usually comes from a place of fear of embarrassment, of self-consciousness, or scrutiny by other people. And even that in itself, I feel like that doesn't fit my description of myself. I don't really get embarrassed very often. That's also because I just go through so many embarrassing situations all the time. Like, I don't know what it is, but I have to have some sort of extremely embarrassing situation happen to me at least twice a month. Like yesterday, I was studying at a park, okay, in my town. I was doing my schoolwork. I got 3 labs done, okay. I was sitting underneath this tree. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a cute little Rory Gilmore moment. I'm gonna sit underneath a tree and get some work done and eat my A&W burger that I bought. At the end of the study sesh, I look over. I feel like a little tingling sensation. I look over on my elbow. There is a humongous caterpillar on my elbow, and not just any caterpillar. It was yellow and fluffy, and it had black spikes sticking out of it. Immediately I'm like, oh, this bitch poisonous, she's poisonous, I'm gonna die. And I scream a little bit. I pick it up. It was stuck. I was wearing a long sleeve shirt. It was stuck to my shirt. I had to pick it up. I threw it. I actually feel kind of bad. I feel like I should have handled it more gently. But in the moment, my arm was burning. It left a bunch of little, like feather. Oh, I think I still got a little bit of a rash because of it. It left a bunch of, like, little feathers on my shirt, and my arm starts burning. It's cold, it's burning, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna die, I guess. I actually, bro, okay, you can't really see it, but I still have, like, a rash. Anyway, I have to go. I buy a shirt. I go to Urban Outfitters. I buy a $30 tank top. Honestly, I just wanted an excuse to buy a cute shirt, but it wasn't even a cute shirt because I was distracted at the burning sensation on my elbow. So I just got the first not ugly shirt that I found, and I bought it, and I didn't look at the price tag. It was $30. I could have made that shirt myself. I could have fully made that shirt myself for $5 for fabric. Anyway, I go to my friend's apartment. Okay, her boyfriend lets me in. I take I take a sink shower. I wash my arm. I look at my back. My back covered in rashes. I didn't know, so I was just walking around with a rash on my arm and back, and I did not know. The rash thankfully went away, but I guess not now because there's a bunch of little dots on my freaking arm that I didn't know about. So yeah, Also, it bit me. It literally bit me. There's a little bump on my elbow from where it bit me. Who gets attacked by a caterpillar except for me? Like, I don't know of anyone who this stuff happens to on the regular, on the daily. Hello? I just attract unfortunate situations. And I think because of that, I have kind of desensitized myself to embarrassment. I also just like I went through one single extremely embarrassing situation that happened to me in the 7th grade where I don't remember if I talked about this before, where I like lip sync the intro song to to The Lion King, which looking back now, very insensitive. I should not have done that, but I thought it was just gonna be a cool little, whatever. I put a lot of effort. I made a Rafiki outfit. I was dressed up as a monkey, and I was like very skeletal when I was younger. No meat on the bones. I was a very late bloomer. So I was wearing these saggy leggings. They sagged everywhere where it should have not sagged. And I had a tail, and it was supposed to wrap around, but it didn't. It broke, unfortunately. I got up on a table in front of my entire class with a mask on. I could not see anything in my peripheral. Okay, I did my dance. I did a whole thing. I lip synced the thing. I thought I did fantastic, right? Turns out, on the walk back, my friend said I flashed the entire class. My leggings fell down. I fully flashed my entire 7th grade class, my undies. And that was the single most mortifying event that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And I got over it. So, like, really, is there anything to ever be embarrassed about? Like, I feel embarrassment in a moment, and then afterwards, I just don't really care. So, that doesn't really fit the description of me having social anxiety, right? I can be self-conscious, but I feel like net I am not really. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in who I am as a person. But like obviously everyone has insecurities and everyone feels self-conscious. I feel really self-conscious if I think my hair looks bad. Like I can be wearing no makeup, that's fine. But like it has to be a combination. I have to have like there's the main 3, okay? Face, hair, fit. I have to have at least 2 of them. If I don't have at least 2 of Guys, I apologize. My Apple phone decided to die in the heat of my car, so we're changing locations. But as I was saying, they're the big 3, okay? Hair, face, fit. If I don't have at least 2 of them, my entire day is ruined. My mood is ruined. Don't talk to me. Like, if my hair and my face both look bad, don't talk to me. The fit might be fire, but don't talk to me. If my I think it's especially the hair. I get very like self-conscious about my hair. If the fit and the face look bad, but my hair looks fire, that's a little bit okay. You can you can chit chat to me. That's fine. But any of the other combinations, I just can't do it. So like that also adds a layer to the social anxiety, but it's not the reason of why I have these social anxiety tendencies. So I was like, okay, so what's wrong with me then? Like, I don't fit this criteria. Am I just abnormal? Like, what's wrong with me? Am I like selectively introverted? Am I like selectively anxious? Like, do I even get anxious, or is this just normal? Is this what everyone feels? Like, do I just get over it and like power through? Because that's what I was kind of doing. But when you do power through in situations of high levels of anxiety, it's just like it's powering through fight or flight. Like it's hard to, there's a disconnect between your mind and your body. At least that's how I feel. Like my mind was very rational. I was like, why am I feeling this? Like blah blah blah. But my body was reacting differently. I can specifically think of one instance where, before this instance, I didn't really have a lot of issues with like presentations and with public speaking. That was like my favorite thing in elementary and middle school and early high school. But because situations change, like when you get to later in high school, I actually really cared about my grades, you know. So the stakes were a bit higher, and I ended up giving a presentation, and I literally like had a panic attack in the middle of the presentation. I think I played it off pretty well because like none of my friends told me that they noticed, but in my mind I was very confused. Like my voice was cracking and shaking, my eyes were tearing up, and I felt like I couldn't really breathe. And I've had panic attacks before, but they were mostly when I was a kid, like when I was small, because I used to have problems with like night terrors and stuff. And I would wake up and I would work myself up into such a state of fear that I couldn't breathe and that I couldn't like think, I couldn't do anything. I was just in a state of being petrified. But this was kind of different. My body was in that state of being petrified, but my mind was confused. There was that humongous disconnect. So after that moment, I was like, okay, if I don't have control over my body in this situation, I'm just going to the response was for me to get extremely anxious before any sort of presentation or public speaking. And then from then on, it kind of led into this like reinforcement cycle of anything that has to do with like interviews, meeting new people, anything where I want to get something out of it. Like I want to make a new friend because I think this person is cool. I want to get this job. It became this like situation of I don't have control over the situation. I don't have control about how my body is going to react, even if my mind thinks that it's going to be okay. So that was like the triggering factor for me, I think. And it started because of like my desire for something. I want to be in control of the outcome, and I wasn't in control of the outcome. And that's where I think my social anxiety stems from. It's not from a fear of embarrassment. It's not from like a self-conscious thing. It's from a sense of, or a lack of control. And I'm a controlling person, not for other people's actions, but like for situations. I'm controlling over myself. Like I want to act a certain way so that I can have other people perceive me in a certain way. If you know what I mean? Like, okay, I wrote notes down because of this in case I can't say it how I want to say it. But I wrote down, I like to be in control in social situations. So if I'm going into uncharted territory, it leads me to feel unstable. It leads to anxiety. It leads to overthinking. So I don't care about what other people think of me unless I care about what that person specifically thinks of me. It's not like a general thing where like this person on the street, I want them to think that I look cool, so I present myself like in a cool way, whatever. But like if I want someone who I think is cool to like me, then that like lack of control, because I can't control other people's reactions, I can't control other people's perceptions of me. That is what leads to that anxiety thing. And that's more of so like social situations and like first impressions and dates. I've really been trying to put myself out there more, like this summer and like this school year romantically. Girl, it sucks bad. I hate dating. That's a completely different topic for another time. But like, especially in dating, it's with first dates and things like that, you always want to give a good impression. And one of the things of being a chronic overthinker who thinks about herself all the time and is always hyperanalyzing her actions is that I really know what my faults are. And you can't really control the things that you're bad at unless you actively are doing something to change that behavior. But like, if a behavior is a part of who you are, is it really worth changing if it's like a fault that doesn't hurt anyone, really? Like, for example, I'm not saying that like if your behavior is bad and you're like actively being a bad person to others that you shouldn't change that. I think everyone should always strive to be the best person they can. But like what I'm talking about is like I talk a lot. I talk when I am nervous. I talk when I'm comfortable with people. Like I just talk a lot. The only thing that changes is how I talk. Like I don't like awkward silences or like silences. I find them awkward. I think like if I like to be around someone, I'm going to talk to them because I'm comfortable around them. But if people don't want to talk to me, then I overthink. I'm like, oh, so there's something wrong. They don't want to talk to me. And obviously not everyone is wired that way. But that leads me to ramble. And I ramble a lot in awkward silences. And sometimes I just say things to say things. And it can be stuff that I don't really think about. I'm just saying words and hoping that it connects. It's like I'm Uncle Colin from Dairy Girls. That's the vibe, and it gets bad. So like I get really scared of like accidentally saying something that might offend someone, and that's not like a regular occurrence. But I know that this is kind of a fault that I have. So if something goes wrong, then I automatically link it to, oh, it's because I did this. And then in the moment, in like a second date, or like if I'm on a first date with someone else, I'm hyper thinking, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't ramble. But then I'm suppressing a part of myself that makes me who I am. Like when I'm nervous, I ramble. I talk about stuff. Like I'm not hurting anyone. But because I see it as such a negative thing, that because it has the potential of like making a situation awkward or making someone not like me, then I'm like locking in on it. But it's not good. That's not a good thing, and I shouldn't care about that stuff. But yeah, like I'm not a people pleaser. I don't do things because I want people to like me. I do things because, like I said, I want control. I want to control the situation, and I want to control people's perceptions of me. Of course, I want them to be positive, but like I don't want everyone ever to like me. That's not a realistic expectation. I don't like everyone that I meet. You know, I always try to give people benefit of the doubt, but like some people just don't vibe, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. What makes me feel uncomfortable is like there's this internal battle of the Amanda that wants control and the Amanda that wants to control other people's perceptions, and the Amanda that's uncomfortable curating my personality for other people. Because I don't know, I like being myself, and I'm trying to be as authentic to myself as possible. Like it makes me uncomfortable when I know that I'm faking, and I know that I'm like trying to put on a front, but at the same time I am battling that wanting for control. But yeah, and I don't know, that's like in the moment anxiety. But like the pre-anxiety, like the me sitting in my car 20 minutes before an event to hype myself up into going to the event, that's like me trying to stop myself from that situation occurring. But then that triggers the other situation from happening. It's just a whole mess. It's a whole cycle. It's awful, but that's what anxiety is. It snowballs onto itself. You can't really control it. And well, I mean, you can control it by changing patterns of thinking and patterns of behavior, but in the moment it feels so overwhelming. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I'm just gonna say self-fulfilling prophecy, where like because you think of something so often, or because you're like trying not to do something, it happens. You know, you try not to be anxious about something, but you're thinking about it, so it changes your pattern of behavior, so it happens. You know, and it sucks. It sucks, especially if you like can't control your overthinking, if you're just always thinking about something. But guys, I'm here to tell you, it's not hopeless. You're not hopeless. it'll get better, but you have to actively put in the work to try to get better. And you have to also know yourself and know your triggers and know the patterns of behavior that affect your overthinking. And it's hard because it is like a physical, like, body reaction. But at the end of the day, your brain is connected to your body. Your thoughts are connected to your emotions. Your Your emotions are connected to the things that you physically feel, your physical sensations. So it's about that. It's about, like, at least what I do, what my therapist tells me to do is think of myself as a holistic being. You know, I'm not trying to think of myself as, like, the parts of me. I gotta connect everything together, you know, whether that is through, like, breathing, and I know that it's like, oh, circle breathing, whatever. It doesn't help some people. It does help some people. You gotta figure out what works for you, baby girl. For me, breathing doesn't really help that much. I don't know. But what helps for me is controlling my thoughts and connecting my thoughts to my body. So, like, a way that I do that is humming. I, like, instead of thinking about things, like words, instead of thinking about sentences, I think about songs. I get songs stuck in my head. And I say that, and I hum the songs. I sing to myself so often. Okay, I caught myself the other day at work just, like, singing Rihanna by myself, to myself. I'm so thankful that no one caught me. I'm fully gonna be Linda Belcher when I'm older. And if you need help with those techniques, go to therapy, find a therapist, Google stuff. But, like, guys, I'm telling everyone, go to therapy. It's amazing. It's just, like, even if you don't have an extreme mental illness, even if you don't, like, suffer, like, immensely, it's good to put yourself in a safe space where the other person doesn't know you, you know? Well, like, they do know you, and eventually they will know, like, a lot of you. But, like, they don't know your day-to-day life. They're not your friends. They're not your parents. You know, they didn't know who you were when you were 5, 6, 7 years old. Like, my therapist didn't know me when I was a teenager. They know me now. Like, you know, I am allowed to say what I want without fear of judgment, without fear of, like, this person losing respect for me, or this person not being my friend anymore, or this person, like, you know, being disappointed in me. Like, that is kind of taken out of the equation. It's just a safe space for you to be human and to feel things, and they understand that, you know. I think I have, like, a problem of, I've been saying this so much, like, perception, self-perception. I always want to be the best person I can, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to be that person, and when I fail, I get very disappointed in myself. So, like, putting myself in a space where I don't feel like I have to be perfect, like, for myself and for other people, and I can kind of, like, call upon my mistakes and understand them and understand why I made them and learn from them and become better in a way that's healthy and productive, and not in a way that, like, makes me feel like I'm an evil person and dwell on that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's so healthy, you know. And it's also good to just get professional advice. Like, it's good to get advice from your friends and your family and people that have life experience, but getting advice from someone who understands brain and body functions and how they work together is great. It's amazing. The point of this is that, like, social anxiety and anxiety in general is something that everyone suffers with to varying degrees. I'm not saying everyone has an anxiety disorder, but stress and anxiety is a normal, valid human emotion, and people suffer from it within a range. And people are so complex. It's okay to be a contradiction. You can have social anxiety and be an extrovert. You can want to talk to people and want to put yourself out there, but you also may get a little bit of a panic attack doing so, you know? like people are complex. It's okay to be different, and it's okay for your brain to want something and for your body to react differently. You know, that's just how people work. That's just how life happens. And if it's something that gets in the way of your happiness and gets in the way of your everyday life, it's also okay to go talk to someone about it. It's okay to go get help. And it's okay to be open and like tell people that you have social anxiety. And some people may not believe you. Like, I don't know. I feel like some people that know me, they might not believe that I have social anxiety because I just love being out there, you know. Like I think my parents, if I told them that they would be like, girl, no, you're lying, like you're just believing what Google is telling you. And I'm like, actually no. No, Google's not telling me that I have social anxiety. My therapist is. So yeah, I don't know. I love all of you guys. Thanks for chit-chatting with me today. I hope that I, you know, got everything out there in a way that makes sense. If I don't, then that's okay too. It's fine. So yeah, hopefully I'll see y'all soon, and love you, bye.